What's up, guys? I'm wrapping burritos right now, and I'm having a good time. And I was just thinking, I gotta show off my process. So, cause I used to be terrible at wrapping burritos. Like 6 months ago, I couldn't do it at all. But I've worked my way up. I have a process, and just wanna maybe give you some tips and tricks, or just an idea of how it's done for any aspiring burrito wrappers. Okay, so one of the most important things that's easy to overlook is that you want to heat your tortilla, because that will make it more pliable. No, that's not the right word, but you can stretch it better and you can wrap it tighter without ripping it. So I've got a cast iron pan here that's 12 inches. Great for this size tortilla. It's a little bit too small for the bigger ones I use sometimes, but it's good enough. We're on the lowest setting here. That provides a good heat where you can get it heated up without like burning your hand. Yeah, so that's gonna take like a minute. Not that much longer. I like flour tortillas personally, and I like wrapping big burritos, I guess. Not sure if it would be different with corn tortillas, to be honest. Mission tortillas seem to work pretty good in my experience. I also like the generic brand, the First Street ones from Smart & Final, because that's where I shop. And those both work well. I found the Guerrero ones are kind of bad. They don't wrap very well. I tried a couple other ones that I don't remember, but yeah, I like these. Okay, so you see, you can kind of like stretch it a bit. That's how you know you're at a good spot. If I put my finger here for like 3 seconds, it would start to burn probably. And I flip it on the other side for a bit. Yeah, so here's what I've been putting in these burritos this week anyway. I switch it up all the time, just depending on what I have and what I feel like. Okay, hold on. Does this work? It fell into the chicken. Yeah, good, okay. So, when I was first getting started on wrapping burritos, I had a lot of trouble with knowing how much stuff to put in and like portioning everything out. Like I'd always put too much and I wouldn't be able to wrap it, and like that, you kind of just have to feel that out. Once you've done it a lot, you'll eventually have an intuition for how much is good. It's a very vague way to put it, but yeah. So that seems okay. Just realized I forgot to spice the beans this time. Whatever. I forget something most of the time anyway. Okay, and alright, here's the, yeah, so definitely took me a long time to get used to wrapping burritos. So, watch closely. Okay, so what I do this, and I like scrunch it up like that and get a little bit like under, so it started to roll. Like before I received an informal 2-hour apprenticeship from my friend's father, who used to work in like a burrito place or something. I don't know. It's funny, but I used to think that you would just like fold it, right? But even okay, I'm just saying that and realizing that saying that you have to roll it is probably obvious, but okay, it wasn't obvious to me. But yeah, you have to. But once I get it into this position, I fold these sides There's a bit on the ends there. It's okay. And then you just want to roll it as tight as you can. You'll figure out how to do this without tearing the tortilla. And when it's about right here, I also fold these little parts in. That helps keep the ends together. And then, yeah, okay. It's pretty much the same with a bigger tortilla also. The wrapping process, that is. Okay, so you can see I've got a whole lineup of burritos here because I make a ton at once to like eat them later. Like that's the whole point, right? They're convenient, you can carry them around easily. Okay, hold on. How am I gonna get? You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna do it with one hand. So I like to use this yellow, what's it called? Yellow sandwich wrap paper. It's pretty cheap. You can get it in bulk. I used to use plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is nice because it sticks to itself really easily. So like, gosh, this is really hard to do with one hand. See what I'm doing there, right? Yeah, plastic wrap is nice because it sticks to itself really easily, but it's not recyclable, so that's why I changed. And this, like, it's easier, it can be kind of a pain to open plastic wrap sometimes, so yeah. The only real downside of using this paper is that you've got to tape the end, which is, when you've got a bunch of tape lined up like this, it's not really a downside at all. So, now, yeah, this is really weird to do with one hand. Okay, yeah, and that's a burrito. Maybe I'll do one more while I talk about my ingredients. Because, sure, why not? I'll do that. So, here, you've got black beans. What I've figured out for myself with the amount of tortillas I use and the number of burritos I make in one session, typically, I make 3 cups of beans and I'll use up all of it or almost all of it each time with how much I do. If you've never made beans before, I mean, personally, I just love beans. I think beans are great. It's just black beans, man. Like, they're awesome. But it's really cheap to just like get a bag, and like $10 of black beans will last you like forever. Like, I think I bought this like 4 months ago and I'm still not all the way through it. I used to put rice in my burritos too. Very recent change actually. I'll probably still do it every so often, but since I want my burritos to be like lunch foods kind of, not really dinner foods, if you have like rice and beans and a tortilla all at once, it kind of makes you sleepy, so like too much carbs. So yeah, I've stopped doing that recently, but yeah, white rice used to be my other main ingredient. And if you've never made like beans or rice before or anything, if you've got awesome kitchen technology like we do here, then like it's pretty easy, right? With the Instant Pot, you can just put in 3 cups of beans, you wash the beans, and then you just go to the bean setting, and it takes like half an hour when you account for the time it takes to pressurize. Like, it's pretty easy. You just got to get an intuition for how much water to use. You can salt it too, and sometimes I put like cayenne pepper also. That's what I forgot this time. You can do a lot of things. The only thing here that I've done every time is the beans. I always do the beans. That's the heart of the burrito to me. That's the heart of a lumpy burrito. Here's chicken. That's what I've been. Ooh, this is definitely gonna be right. This did not need to be there that long. Yeah, here's chicken, which I'm pretty new to cooking meat, but it went really well last time, so yeah, I just bought like a whole frozen thing of like, last time I used leg quarters, this time I bought drumsticks just because they didn't have the leg quarters, and I just kind of like went through and picked all the meat off, and it seems to be working great. I just seasoned it with salt, pepper, and garlic, and cooked it in here, because you can cook like anything in here, and it just works. Very cool technology. And then when I used to do rice, there's actually some rice in here right now, because I made some with the chicken broth that I got from the chicken. Yeah, rice cookers are great. Anyway, and then there's also, most of the time I add cheese, because I like how cheese tastes. Yeah, I kind of want to transition away from using so much like dairy eventually, because like I eat a bowl of cereal almost every day too, but like, yeah, I don't know, maybe someday. For now, I'm just happy I'm eating a decent diet. But anyway, yeah, I put cheese because I like how it tastes and it goes with things. And I should mention, I store these by like refrigerating them, and then always when I go to like school or whatever, there's like I know where the microwaves on campus are, so I just take one or two of these and I put them in the microwave for, you know, depending on the burrito and what's in it, how long you want to microwave, it depends, but for these it's usually about 1 minute a burrito ish. But that'll melt the cheese, which is really nice. And sometimes they can get a bit dry if they've been stored for a long time, which that's what I'm doing. That's what the salsa's for this time. This is a bit of the, you know, not experimental, but I haven't put salsa in a large batch of burritos yet, so hopefully I'll like how it turns out. It's not 1 scoop or 2. I'll do a little bit more. I'm just gonna use, okay, yeah, I have a setup for this. Okay, so my phone died, I just plugged it in. Yeah, I was kind of out of things to say anyway, but I wanted to wrap up this second burrito for all my loyal fans and friends. So watch one more time as you fold it over, curl it under, right? Get it into a clump best you can. Then you do the sides and you roll tightly, kind of do the sides again, and then watch this. I'm gonna actually bring the wrapping over here so you can see it. Crazy. And then you just, I mean, how you do this part doesn't really matter, but I have a system, so you can just do that and it works good every time. Yeah, check it out. And you can eat this and it'll taste great. So, hope you got something out of this. Learning the art of bulk burrito making has definitely been a force for good in my life. You can just, it feels very nice to just be like, thank you past me from 4 days ago for providing me this pre-prepared burrito when I don't want to cook or make anything right now, you know? And, you know, I love burritos. Like, I just love things wrapped in a tortilla as a convenient way of eating. And it's like, and it's not expensive to do this at all. Like, the tortillas are actually the most expensive part. If you're being as economical as possible, the beans are really cheap. I think all this meat was like $8 this time. I don't know if that's like regular price for me, or you know, that's all in there too. But you know, for like a whole batch that lasts like a week or even longer, if you don't eat as much as I do, you know, that's, you know, weekly, it's not that much. And then I guess the cheese is kind of expensive too, but you don't have to do cheese. I mean, it's not kind of expensive, it's just regular. It's regular, okay? If you buy it bulk, it's not expensive. It's just by comparison, because beans and rice are just like super cheap. But yeah, there's your burrito wrapping tutorial and snapshot into the way of the lumpy burrito consumption. Okay, so there's actually a couple things I wanted to say. Well, mainly one thing, but okay, so I got the portions like a bit off. So I ran out of chicken on the penultimate burrito. So on the ultimate burrito, I put a bit of rice in instead. So then I put an R on it, and then when I wrote the R, I was just I saw the letter on the burrito, and I was like, yo, I could give these burritos names. So then while I was going to the bathroom, I thought of names for all the burritos, and yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I did. Okay, anyway, I don't usually do that. Yeah, anyway, before I move on, man, this is what makes a man happy, you know? Like, all these burritos that are all mine, and I can eat them. I've offered my housemates some a couple of times, but I don't know, burritos aren't their thing, but it makes me happy, you know? This takes long enough that, you know, it feels like a task is done at the end, you know? Once you account for all the time it takes to, you know, make the beans and, you know, set up and then do dishes at the end, you know, all that. It's... Just realized I threw away plastic for no reason. Once you take all that into account, you know, it takes a couple hours at least, so it's nice when you're all done and then you're set. But yeah, anyway, what I was gonna say was, I mentioned him, but I did not properly honor him. My friend's dad, yeah, my good friend who, Dijani Easy, don't know how I should refer to you in an online context, but yeah, his dad, not gonna say his, I wish I could just refer to him, but I don't want to say his last name because I don't think it's that common. But anyway, yeah, Mr. Burrito Master, he taught me everything I know, and by taught me everything I know, I just mean, you know, he showed me his process for like a couple hours one morning. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta get someone to get you started, you know? Like, this is all inspired by him, because he would make like huge batches of burritos, and you know, they were iconic, you know? They're called Pa burritos. You know, they even had their own name, and he would like wrap them all up and store them, and then, you know, my friend and his siblings would all, you know, be able to eat them. And like, I just thought that was cool, you know? Like, before I was heading out to live in an off-campus apartment for the first time, I was like, man, I want to make meal prep easier for myself. I want to do that too. And yeah, you know, he was the inspiration, and I just have to mention that. Thank you, Mr. Dijani Easy's dad. Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say about how he, quote, taught me everything I know. I mean, it did take time to really get good at, because I came from a place of being just absolutely terrible, could never wrap my own burrito at all. And it did, even after receiving the training, it did take a while to get used to it. You know, I would regularly screw up and just like tear the tortilla, and it would be like unwrappable, or it would just like fall apart, like. But yeah, after doing this many times, it's become a burrito journeyman, and you could too. yeah, thank you for watching my dumb little burrito vlog thing.